What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining. Hope you're having a great one today. As always, we got a fun one today. I'm finally cracking into my boy Orko from the wonderful He-Man, Masters of the Universe, whatever you want to call it. Now, this is the timed edition of the figure. It's made by Mondo Toys. If you aren't familiar with them, they do some really cool 6-scale stuff, typically based off of animated shows. That box is amazing. But they have these timed variants that you can get where essentially if you order one pretty quickly after the figure's announced and available for pre-order, you end up getting some extra goodies. Now, I've never gotten anything from Mondo. I have wanted to, but I've always been kind of iffy on them. And then they announced Orko. And while I am not a huge He-Man fan, as a kid, him and Skeletor I was in love with. I thought they were both super duper cool. I mean, one's a wizard, one's a skeleton, you can't go wrong. And then as I grew and kind of collected toys over the years, Orko's sort of been my He-Man go-to. Usually if I'm getting any sort of He-Man merch, it'll be Orko related. So I figured this would be a perfect opportunity to check out Mondo. I am in love with that box art. Like, that is just so dang cool. I don't know if there's anything fancy on the back. Haha! Behold the wizardry of Orko the Magnificent. There you go, if you want to read that. You can pause it, I'm sure. I did see little things that indicate this magnet will be a magnet open, which it is. There we go. We're going to have to pull him out and get a look at all the goodies, but look at that. You get a nice little picture of the figure and all of his awesomeness right there on the side. Now, I will say in advance, as much as I do love Orko, I do not remember the name of his dragon, which is one of the little accessory pieces that you get in here. So I'll be able to say it's Orko's pet dragon, but that's about as far as I'm going to go. I do remember Driel is his girlfriend, and we get a little one of her, so at least I know that much. Let's see if we can pop this open. I should be one of those savage people and just rip through the box, because I kind of don't care about keeping this one, but man, oof, this picture I just love. Alright, let's slide him on out of here and get a look at all of these goodies. Now, with the timed version of this fella, you do get two little minifigures, one of Orko, one of Driel, and then you get his little pet dragon. So basically these three little bottom pieces here are going to be the added bonuses. This is probably taped shut in some way. Maybe not. Now, one kind of complaint that I've heard about Mondo stuff is a lot of it, in many ways, it's almost just like a giant SH Figure Arts, figure, like a big Marvel Legends, something like that, where it's more or less a large toy. That's super cool. Which might be the case. This guy was kind of covered up in a nice little cloth wardrobe and all that good stuff, so I figured if he does have totally visible joints, they'll all be hidden by his outfit. And even if he does look a little plasticky, not too big of a deal. These guys I'm going to leave in here. They're just plastic stands, so you can have those two floating around if you want. No real need to take them out. I was actually thinking Orko was underneath this, but ta-da, he's right there. They did do a great job of packing this all up, I must say. We're just going to kind of dive right into it if we can. And this, of course, the main attraction. And he is amazing. So that's super cool looking. There you go. Really nice job with him. He does feel a little loose in some of his joints, definitely his arms, but not like a bad way. It just does feel more like a, yeah, we can make him dab. There you go. A little more like a classic. There we go. Kind of like a Marvel Ultimates, Marvel Legends, any of those old figures. It's sort of a really generic kind of plastic body underneath. Now, one thing I have heard They did give him legs, which you've never really seen in any of the shows before. So we're gonna, hey, look at that. That is not what I would have expected. I was thinking he'd have tiny little feet. He's got a cool little Mattel tattoo. I would not have expected him to have that sort of ink job, but I'm going to be honest. I find it kind of weird knowing that he's kneeling. That sort of messes with my head a little bit. I mean, I guess it makes sense. He is like a troll dude. I think they're actually a species of troll, if I'm not mistaken, but that's weird. I did not expect that. There you go. If you wondered if Orko had feet and legs, he does. There they are. Wonder. Not sure if the hat's removable. I know as a kid you could always pull the hat off of the real old toy. Not that you would want to, but he does have an unmasked sculpt, which we will take a look at in a bit. This outfit, they did a great job on. This part's cloth. This feels more like a hard plastic or a vinyl. Really, just look at the detail they did on that. Honestly, quite amazing. And I love that. Like, that's just such a cool, such a cool little dude. I'm really, really happy with that. I'm still weirded out that he's kneeling. It's gonna bother me. Especially because the way he's kneeling, you can't just have him kneel. So that's a little depressing. You'll actually need to use his stand if you want him to stand up at all. Just have you laying over there for the moment. That works. And since we looked at one Orko, we might as well look at the others. So you do get two little guys. These are the size of like the old original He-Man figure. And they really are just kind of generic. Almost feel like soft vinyl figures. Not much articulation in them at all. But really they're just kind of goofy accessories that you could display with like a He-Man or anything like that. I have no idea what I'm going to do with them, but I pretty much knew I wanted Orko right away, so I figured why not get the timed edition and get the little bonus stuff. And this way I get Driel, which you can't go wrong with. Nice to have his lady friend. So she's pretty cool. I honestly don't remember when they initially introduced her. He's actually got a whole bunch of family members that you see throughout the comics and various shows. Did not give either of them feet. So that's kind of a bummer, but not the end of the world. They will be fun to pose around with other stuff. I'm gonna like putting them in the background of things. Like I like the idea of them fighting Mysterio. I think that'll be a fun little battle to do in my multiverse. So that's the cool little book that he comes with, and it is neat. While I would love it if they did movable pages, the fact that there's that much detail on it, pretty darn impressive. And of course it's got the classic Orko marks on the front. I really like it. I like they did the Daimar too. That's fun. And take a quick closer look at his scepter in case you were wondering. They did do a wonderful job with that. It is plastic, which not the end of the world. Would be cool to get a metal one, but since you are going to need him on some sort of stand, have an extra weight of a metal one might not be the best thing in the world. Let's get all this stuff out of here. Pop this fella open. Get these guys out of here. Also, a little bit of effort to go through this one. All right. So this is his pet dragon, which, like I said, I don't remember the name of. I should have just looked it up beforehand, but where's the fun in that? Oh, he's so adorable. There you go. In case you wanted to give the cute little guy a kiss, you get the chance. I love that. He's just a really cool little background figure. Again, kind of don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's one of those weird ones where it's like very cartoony and animated, so it's hard to pair with a lot of other Six Scale stuff. I'll probably end up just comboing it with some sort of anime or like one of the animated Marvel figures, something of the like, but definitely an interesting one. Most of the generic hands I'm going to leave in there because I feel like you can kind of tell what they look like. I suppose while I fight with this bag, if you wanted to see one up close, did do a pretty darn good job of painting those. Made his fingernails nice and creepy. Definitely cool job there. This particular hand sculpt I really, really liked, as you get the cool little magic effect with it. There we go. And that I thought was pretty darn sweet. Also, that coloring, I love the green magic look. I think that's why I liked Mysterio as much as I ended up. I think he kind of went from me not caring about that character to an instant purchase for me. Now these little wrist pegs do kind of worry me. They remind me a lot of the 301s, and I've broken a lot of those in my days. Now the thing is, all of the hands have ones attached to them, so worst case one breaks. Looks like it'll be pretty easy to take from one and pop on another. You also get this effect, which is awesome. And this is one that would look really cool with like an LED light setup. You could probably get like the LED light wiring if you were super technically sound and do something cool with that. Even just hitting a black light on that probably would look neat. Definitely like it though. Real fun. Little stuff like that I'm a big fan of. Now this is another one where I unfortunately will say I don't know much about. I have seen quite a few figures that have a sort of evil dark Orko sculpt, which I guess is the best way to describe this, but I don't know where it originated from. I also don't know why he's got this cool little decoration up there, but why not? I'm sure it's accurate. That head sculpt is really sick looking. I kind of wonder... I don't think it would be difficult to use that on another body, because honestly, you could just make a cool 6-scale troll warlock thingy with that head and probably not have too much problem. And I might end up doing that, because I do really like the alternate heads that you get. You also get them unmasked, which is not a common thing to see in the world of Orko. He is adorable. And if you were wondering what the fella looks like under the hat, there he is. I love it. There you go. So this is another one where I kind of want to get a separate body to actually just kit bash something, make a little blue goblin dude. Because I love that. I don't want to use it on Orko because I don't want to get rid of the classic Orko look, but I feel like that one's too good to just keep hidden in a box. And I think this is one of his toys. This is another one where I wish I was nerdier enough to know about it, but I'm pretty sure it's just a little plushie that he's got. It's really darn cool. This is one of those neat accessories that you can use with just about anything, because it really does just look like a fun little plush, which, you know, can't go wrong with. Honestly, I absolutely love this thing. My only real complaint is the impossibility of him standing upright. Let me see if we can get a... See, basically, well, his hands are going to help in that case. He's pretty much permanently going to lean forward just because of the way his knees are. Like, there's not a flat surface, so to speak, so you'll really need to use that base on him. Which he does come with the little one down here. Get grabbers for the... See, these I feel like are going to be more for Driel and Mini Orko. I guess that's what... 2 little clips are for those guys, and then the bigger one is going to be for him. Alright, also I just noticed he's got his cute little pouches there. He's kind of heavy. This is... I'm going to get a different stand. I'll probably modify a crotch grabber, to be honest. I feel like if you break a crotch grabber in half, you could just put that under him and have that work, because I feel like that's not going to hold him. I might be wrong. I'm sure Mondo does a good job of testing those sorts of things, but I could easily see that taking a quick tumble. This one a little bit longer than I thought. We'll blame the packaging because there was so dang much of it. I do love this figure. If you're at all considering it, highly recommend it. The timed edition, you're not missing much by getting the regular one. You're just kind of missing out on the 3 extras, which are cool. But I think to get the timed edition on resale now, you're looking at like an extra $100 or $200, and it's probably not worth